All right, so welcome back. I want to talk real quickly with you about a couple of my go-to products. Some new finds actually. Darkside for tires and Gummy Fix for plastics and rubber. So really impressed with Gummy Fix. I guess I should get started with it first. Gummy Fix is a product that I was looking for that was non-greasy, non-slippery for floor mats. And I don't think the camera's going to let me angle as much as I need to on this, so I kind of have to live in a little bit here so you can see it. The Gummy Fix is a product that is non-slippery, non-skid, that restores vinyl. So I have the WeatherTech floor mats in the truck, which isn't here, so I can't show you on those, and I did it last week. But you ever notice the grayness or the scuff marks that you can't never seem to get rid of? Well, this stuff here will definitely do the trick. So, like I said, one of the biggest fears that I've got with putting anything on floor mats is I don't want them to be slippery. I don't want it to be an unsafe situation, right? So a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. But basically, all you do is wipe this in, and it takes out all of the scuffing and the scratching, and it dries in a non-slippery surface. And I sprayed this applicator, and originally I was using this in a squirt bottle. With a squirt nozzle on it. I took the plastic top that was on it off, which was pretty difficult to get off, and I noticed that I was wasting a lot of the product because it goes a really long way. I used it last weekend on the bed of the Polaris and on the floorboards of the Polaris, and it got rid of all the scratches on the floor in there. Came out fantastic. So this has become something that I have got a lot of interest in for long-term use. And if you want to gloss and shine like this, and I'll wait when this dries, it'll be before this video ends because it's alcohol based, you will actually get an appreciation for how much different that looks. And I don't think video really speaks for itself on it as far as the way it looks, but it takes out all the scuffs. So that's been treated pretty much while you watched. So we'll set that aside in the sun, let that get some light. Another place that is good is on trim. So my wife's Equinox has that black plastic trim that all of us hate because it's so hard to make it look good over time. So the Gummy Fix cleans that up pretty well too. So I'll show you. This is another reason why I like these foam applicator pads. I think the best applicator pad might be one of those. Remember back in the day, you used to go to the car wash and get those one application sponges for arm roll? That would probably be something that's ideal for this. So basically wipe it on and forget about it. Alright, so make sure I covered all of it evenly. I believe I did. And let that dry. So hopefully you can see the difference there. We'll see what that looks like when it dries. Now let's go on to the next product, which is called Darkside, and it's by CARPRO. And it's there you go. It is a tire and rubber sealant. Highly hydrophobic, and it's satin black. So it's not going to be a super gloss black when it dries. But I applied it to my hand instead of the applicator. Figures. But anyway, a couple dabs of this onto your applicator, whatever type applicator you're using. And the tire needs to be extremely clean when you put any of this stuff on. This is supposed to be several months of regular wash, regular maintenance, regular use before reapplication. But in order for that to take place, you need to make sure that the tire is extremely clean. So I went around yesterday with my Chemex product, which is basically just a degreaser, heavy duty, And when I cleaned the car, I cleaned the snot out of these tires, got rid of a bunch of brown gook that was in them, so that when I put this on, it would be on a clean surface. So that easy on the application. Now that takes a little bit longer to dry. It's not going to spin off. Once it dries, it's pretty much dry to the touch. And this is the effect that you're going to get at application. So pretty glossy, right? Now after your first wash, some of that gloss will go away. From what I understand, if you add a second coat, it may last a little bit longer as far as the gloss. But as you wash it, the tire should remain black. And as far as I'm concerned, it's way better than anything I've used. Because it seems to hold up, and it does a really good job protecting the tire after using something like heavy duty to really clean the tires down. So that being said, this this floor mat is now dry to the touch. So no residue on my hand. And this is what these look like after you put that on there. So obviously it's a little bit wet still here because it was where it would pour up. But on its higher surface you can see where it's dry and there's nothing sticking to me. So this Gummy Fix is fantastic as far as restoring the new look to your rubber floor mats. And now with the trim dry, and this isn't in direct sunlight, but it's pretty bright, you can actually still see, especially if I zoom in here, you can see the difference. Got rid of all the gray-ish discoloration that you're going to get from plastics when they sit with time. There is some UV protection in there, but definitely does a good job restoring that. So anyway, enough said about that. Outside of the realm of plastics, I talked in my previous video about what I wash with when I did the video on machine polishing. So this is the Active 2.0 electric pressure washer that I was using, and if you get the chance to get this for $350, tool only, should be even less than that because the whole kit is $350. Jump all over it. It's a fantastic pressure washer, 2 gallons a minute on water flow, over 1,000 psi. I'm using this to wash the big truck, and like everybody else, I just ditch the nozzle that's provided, go with the shorty. This is the Mosmatic with the QDs, quick disconnects, and then this swivels on the back so that you don't have to worry about kinking hoses. And I switched to a larger 3/8" hose for the truck, but the one that comes with it is 35 feet, which is adequate. I did add my own nozzle, and most people that are washing in static environments that aren't dealing with large profile vehicles like I'm using are using a 40-degree pattern. I think this is a 20-degree, and an orifice size, which is the diameter of the hole at the end of the nozzle. They say you can go all the way up to 5.0 with those, and that seems to be ideal for the car wash people. But for me with the truck, I narrowed that spread from 40 to like 15, and then I increased decreased the orifice size to give me a little bit more pressure so I could get higher up. And then I just recently got through using, and I'm telling you, I'm going to switch to this. This is the Griots Garage foam cannon. Well, you know, foam cannons are foam cannons are foam cannons, right? Well, no. A couple cool features about this one. The first one is the weighted head and the flexible tube, so you're going to get all of your soaps out of it. The second is you can actually control, it's probably not going to show up very well, how much product is coming through this tip. So this blue tip is actually designed for the electric pressure washer. And basically what this gives you the ability to do is this gives you the ability to pour straight product into the wash container. But more importantly, it allows you to take your existing bottles. My go-to, by the way, is CARPRO Reset for vehicle washes. You can basically take this, put it in, and it threads. right to. It's difficult to do when you're right-handed and you're trying to do it with your left. But it threads right on the bottom of the bottle. So instead of pre-mixing, pre-diluting, which is something that I'm not very good at, and I end up wasting product because I don't use it all, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually now using this in straight, and I'm controlling the amount of product that's going into the foam cannon using the knob up on the top. And for my studies, which aren't scientific by any standard, when I'm doing this, I'm finding that I'm using the same amount of product this way as I would if I was doing it with pre-dilution. So I would highly recommend taking some consideration, if you haven't already got a foam cannon, of thinking about the Griots Garage, just for that purpose only. I mean, switch from bottle to bottle and not have to worry about dilution ratios. So I hope you liked it, and I'll talk to you soon.